Hey puzzle friends, how's it going? Welcome back, or if you're new, I'm Juby and welcome to my channel. This is a place for anyone who loves puzzles, whether you're new to puzzling or you consider yourself an expert. In today's video, I'm going to be trying out the glitter challenge puzzle from Ravensburger. This is going to be my first ever challenge puzzle from them, and I have no idea what the difficulty's like. From what I've seen, there's like quite a variety of images in the challenge series, so I'm guessing that the difficulty is just dependent on what image you get, as far as I know. Basically, I chose this one because, well, not so much because it's a challenge puzzle, but because it's a beautiful rainbow gradient with a glitter image, and I just thought it looked really cool and I definitely want to give it a go. So normally when I do gradient puzzles, I tend to find them fairly easy. So I'm not really sure how much the sort of glitter image in this one's going to affect how I normally do these puzzles. I mean, this image basically has all shiny sort of glitter particles, and some in the middle it's sort of in focus, and then there's a lot of these blurrier ones and sparkles added and things like that. So I don't know how much that's going to affect my sort of regular gradient puzzling style, and how much more difficult, if at all, it's going to make it. As for piece shape, I have no idea, but I guess they're probably just regular, the standard shape pieces, and it's more probably just the image itself that's supposed to be challenging. So in a sec, I'm going to unbox this and we'll sort of see what we're dealing with. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this and unbox it. So the outside of the box, you've just got your sort of standard, I guess, Ravensburger kind of style front, although it says challenge on it, and glitter. Yeah, pretty standard sides with the, again, smaller image and the size of the puzzle, and what else, just, yeah, pretty standard information. And then on the side it just says glitter as the name and Getty Images and 2021, so yes, it's a new release. And the back's just your sort of standard Ravensburger back, I guess. Nothing, yeah, so nothing too special about the packaging. All right, so let's open this up. Okay, and yeah, pretty simple. It's just, we've just got our bag of puzzle pieces and nothing else. There's no secret envelopes like the crypt puzzles. There's no information sheet, just your standard bag of puzzle pieces. So let's open this up and have a look. It's a lot of puzzle dust, which unfortunately is pretty common among Ravensburger puzzles. I really love their pieces, their piece quality and the fit, but yeah, the puzzle dust is a bit of a pet peeve of mine. Yeah, so, wow, these are really pretty. Beautiful, like jewel-like colors. Yeah, so from what I can see, they're, yeah, your standard shaped pieces. Yeah, nothing weird here. Definitely no crypt puzzle pieces here. Just your normal standard size Ravensburger pieces. Oh, a few stuck together. Yeah, so pretty normal. But the one thing that I do notice that's a little bit interesting is some of them actually have a little bit of glitter adhered to them. So not the whole piece, like the whole piece isn't covered head to toe in glitter, but there's little, like, it seems like because the image is sort of like, I guess, all little glitter particles, where some of the, I guess, white reflections occur in the image, like the sparkles of the glitter pieces. They've sort of put glitter on those parts, so like where it's like the most white, I guess, or the most reflected part. I'm not explaining this very well, but hopefully you'll get the idea. I'll put an image up here with a bit of a close-up so you can see, but yeah, so it seems like on this one there's just sort of a little circle or dot, and that's where the sort of goldish kind of glitter is adhered to. So when I rub it, it doesn't seem to come off, so that's good. Nothing worse than getting covered in glitter, I guess. Well, I mean, that's fine for some times of the year, but not on a daily basis. Yeah, and this one's the same. It's like a sort of, not the whole piece, but just like a little part of it. It's just got glitter stuck to it. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's quite pretty actually. It looks really nice. Like as I move the pieces around, they sort of shine a bit. It's definitely not in every piece. Like this piece is just the normal printed image. There's no glitter stuck to that. So yeah, so I think that's kind of nice. Like that, these look really pretty. I think like whether this puzzle is challenging or not, I think it's just going to make a really pretty puzzle in the end. And I think like you could, I guess, frame it or show it off, whatever. Like, but yeah, I think it's going to look really pretty, and I'm definitely looking forward to putting it together. So let's. I'm gonna like get out my puzzle board and I'm gonna start sort of sorting the pieces and talking about how I'm gonna approach, I guess, sorting and putting this together. So I've got my handy puzzle board out and ready to go. So I figure I'm gonna approach this, I guess, just like a regular gradient and sort of see how I go. I might adjust a few things on the way. I do have one idea though that I might do as well, which I'll get to in a sec. So, I think I'm going to probably, like a regular puzzle, pull out border pieces. I feel like there's probably enough variation that I can probably figure out where the pieces go. So I'll start doing that. And then I also figured, like a normal gradient, I'll just pick a couple colors to sort of start with. So I figure I quite like this sort of purple and bluey teal section. So I'm probably going to pull out those pieces as well. Just because I like those colors, no other real reason. I mean, admittedly, this sort of reddy pink area does look kind of vast and difficult, so we'll just leave that till later. But anyway, one thing I was going to say though is like what I notice here in the image is the top and bottom section of the glitter is kind of more blurry and out of focus, and there's a fairly like in focus section here. So I guess that will help me. I can potentially further sort those purple and teal pieces, or all the pieces, I guess, and separate the more in focus sections from the blurry sections. So I guess should help a little bit as well. Yeah, so let's start pulling out some of the border sections. So okay, that'll take me a little while to do that. So yeah, I usually just make a pile of those and then spread them all out and start trying to piece my border. But I do this with like normal puzzles too, not just gradients, where I usually like to pull out border pieces. I mean, assuming the border doesn't look like it's going to be too hard. And then, yeah, I sort of choose sections that I want to work on like soon after the border. So yeah, in this case, I want to pull out sort of purples, I guess. So I'll make my little pile of purples, but although I'll leave any border pieces and put them with the border, even if they're purple. So that'll probably take me a fair while. I probably won't separate the blurry and the in focus sections until I actually want to work on the purple. Then I might sort of spread them out and like pull out the in focus ones or something like that. I'm not too sure. So let's pull out some of these sort of teal ones as well. Yeah, they're really pretty with the glitter on them. So I think this is going to be a fun puzzle to do. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Hopefully not too long. You know, would like to have dinner at some point today, I guess. Yeah, so basically I'm going to continue sorting and probably pull out as many of these sort of teal, purple and border pieces as possible. And yeah, I guess I'll probably try and finish those sections, hopefully, depending how hard it is, and then come back and we'll have a chat about how it's been going. So yeah, I guess I'll see you after a bit of puzzling. Alright, so I'm back and I finished the purple and teal section and even started putting on some sort of tealy green pieces. Yeah, that section was pretty enjoyable. I mean, probably because it's more of my favorite type of colors, but yeah, but overall, like, I quite enjoyed it, but it was fairly challenging. Definitely more challenging than your regular gradient, and I think it's because, like, we're just sort of a, I guess, flat gradient. The colors sort of transition smoothly into each other, whereas, like, I guess having all these sort of like blurred out like glitter means that even one piece can have like multiple different shades of like colors, so sometimes it can be a bit hard to tell just by looking at a single piece like where it's going to go. Some are easier than others, and like even with the purples, some purples were like way warmer and some were more sort of like darker, colder colored purple, so that's sort of how I had to kind of keep picking them out of the pile, but based on like that sort of tone of purple. Definitely have to say that this section in the middle is definitely the easiest, just because it's like these tiny little more in focus pieces of glitter, and they're just easier to sort of differentiate between what's up here and here, and sort of easier to figure out what bits go together. So yeah, so that's definitely easiest if you ever go to do this puzzle and you don't know where to start, maybe doing the middle section, I don't know. But yeah, so far I did enjoy that, but yes, definitely took me longer and is more challenging than your average kind of gradient. Even harder than the gradient crypt that I did recently. Like, that was pretty easy. Plus that had piece shapes, like irregular piece shapes to help, whereas this is just still regular piece shapes. So yeah, so I've pulled out like pretty much all the green that I could find, and it was a pretty intimidating pile. So I've actually started pulling out from this pile like more of these, what look like the center bits. So because I find like just having that whole pile is a bit intimidating, but if I can separate these out, then I can like start adding those on there. This pile down here was sort of, they seemed a bit more teal in color, but I don't know, I couldn't quite figure out where they went. So, but I suspect they still sort of go along here somewhere. And then I sort of pulled out this pile here, which is sort of the greeny, let's call it the poo colored pile, baby poo color, because it's like this sort of greeny, yellowy, orangey brown. So I'm also tempted to even actually do these sort of like in focus green glitters, and then maybe even separately move into this area, because I feel like there's a lot less of this and it's a bit more distinct than this scary green pile. So yeah, so that's sort of my approach. I'm also a bit intimidated by all the reds, and well, there's some oranges in here too, but those reds I think might be quite tough as well. Yeah, like you can see on the box, basically like this red section and this green section are definitely the largest, and I think are going to be the hardest, whereas this sort of orangey, yellowy, the poop color, and obviously the section I've done, probably the easiest. So yeah, so I'm not sure how long this is going to take me, but I suspect it's going to take a fair bit of time. I probably will though try and just keep pushing, if I can push through until it's done, unless I think of something else to come back and talk about. Yeah, so if there's something that stands out to me that's like noteworthy, I'll come back and have a chat about it, but otherwise I think I'll just keep puzzling and see if I can finish this thing. Wish me luck. All right, so I'm back and I finally finished the Ravensburger glitter challenge puzzle. And it took quite a bit of time, like quite a few hours, maybe like 5-ish hours, maybe more, I'm not sure. So it definitely took me a lot longer than your sort of average, normal, just colored gradient. So yeah, I guess it definitely hit the mark of being a challenge puzzle because it was quite challenging and quite like time consuming and I guess quite difficult. So I definitely have mixed feelings about this. So I guess on the positive side, I really love how it's turned out. It looks really beautiful. Definitely glad I have it in my collection because it just looks really gorgeous. And I really actually like the glitter that's stuck on, like the glitter effect, because whatever method they use to apply the glitter, it stays put, like it doesn't transfer anywhere. The whole time I never got any glitter on my hands or anywhere else. So yeah, I think whatever they're doing works great. Really enjoy that. Then on the sort of more negative side, I enjoyed like sections of the puzzle, but then when I got to the green and even the poopy color that I thought would be fast and then the red, it just became really slow and tedious and just frustrating not being able to fit pieces at a regular like kind of pace. I just felt like it took me so long. Sometimes I'd be trying so many pieces and seemingly nothing would fit. So it became a bit, yeah, just tedious and kind of frustrating and boring for me. And I even got a bit of a headache and had to take a substantial break because it really took it out of me. Yeah, I think what makes it difficult is that, like, unlike a regular gradient, like this sort of blurry imagery and sort of all the different colors within each piece make it really hard to figure out where it goes. Like, sure, you might be able to tell which side of the green area it goes, but then like it just gets really tricky. Sometimes you think you're looking for a certain colored piece, but it ends up being something else. Just stuff like that. So I end up having to like resort to, I guess, piece shape a lot. So you might have noticed in some of my puzzling, I would end up, pulling aside pieces of a certain like shape and putting them together. And yeah, and I kind of really like dislike that style of puzzling. I don't enjoy that at all. So I'm not, apart from like some crypt puzzles, I'm not really one to do like solid color puzzles for that reason, because I don't see the point. I find that boring and a waste of my time. But I think there are people out there who do enjoy that and still find that fun and it's satisfying. And if that's you, I think this is a really good puzzle for that type of puzzling style, I guess. But yeah, if you're like me and you're more impatient and you just want to be able to get through a puzzle a bit more quickly and have a bit more of a satisfying time finding pieces more frequently, then maybe this is not really the puzzle for you. That being said though, like I did this all in one day, so that's pushing it a bit. So I think maybe if I'd like spread this out over a few days or a week, then maybe I would have enjoyed it more. I don't know, but I'm a pretty impatient puzzler, so I don't always like having puzzles out for that long either. So maybe I'm just really fussy when it comes to puzzles. So, but I mean, look, overall, I think it's still a pretty cool puzzle. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely like fun and eye-catching. It's definitely a challenge puzzle, no doubt about that. So yeah, I think like, would I recommend it if that's your puzzling style and you're looking for like a challenge, or you want something harder than your average gradients and you really want to challenge yourself, I think go for it. But if you're like me and you're really impatient, maybe pass on this one or let yourself do it over a longer period of time. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on the whole experience. I guess in the comments below, let me know what you thought of this puzzle. Have you done it yourself? Have you tried any of the other Ravensburger challenge puzzles, and what did you think of them? Were they just as difficult or more difficult? Yeah, so let me know your experience down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all things puzzles. And for even more puzzle content, you can check me out over on Instagram at jigsaw_GB. Thanks so much, and see you next time. Bye.